How do you like Zoom meetings? I talked to a young business couple who use them regularly, and I asked, what are the pros and cons of Zoom meetings for you? On the plus side, they agreed that Zoom meetings cut down travelling time and they could talk to colleagues in Melbourne or Canada or wherever. They could get on with business and make group decisions. And they could wear their tracky dacks and thongs with their smart button tops. And minuses? Well, it wasn't quite the same as sitting around a table where they could pick up on signs of agreement or disagreement. There was a definite feeling that perhaps they didn't know their colleagues quite as much as they did before COVID, when they could meet round the water cooler and catch up with each other. So I asked, on a scale of 1 to 10, how connected do you feel with people in Zoom meetings? They said 5. And how connected do you feel with people when face-to-face in the office? They said 7. Then they followed that with, but if we went out for coffee with them or played a round of golf together, that would raise the score up to 8 or over. So, we can meet with colleagues and relatives on Zoom, but if we want to feel a better connection with them, we need to do it face-to-face. I've been seeing videos of family reunions at airports after lockdowns are lifted, and the faces of returning expats as they get back to Australia in time for Christmas. Yes, there is a plus in meeting face-to-face. There's a connection. I see some similarities between that connection and Jesus coming to earth. How so? Well, the theologians have a lovely word for it. Emmanuel, God with us. Let's think of the first Christmas. A strange thought occurred to me the other day. What if there had been advertising agencies around when Jesus was born? What if one of those agencies approached God and said, we'd like to handle your coming to earth. Let us do the whole thing. Venues. We'll arrange something really big and imposing for you and your retinue. You said you were coming to earth to set up a kingdom? You'll be bringing an army, of course. All political leaders need them down here. And music, a huge orchestra or something smart and modern in the background. And someone to introduce you. I can think of some really good pop stars who could do a great job. Yes, that would bring people to hear what you have to say. Let us manage that for you. You won't have to worry about a thing. You're shaking your head? Something wrong? And God laughed and said, I'm coming in the form of a baby, a newborn. Not many will see me. Actually, only some rural workers looking after lambs and sheep. There will be kings looking for me, but they won't get there in time for the birth. Who will be with me to look after me? A young working couple. They'll join crowds of people displaced. There'll be a census on. There'll be so many people in the inns along the way that I'll be born wherever they can find room. After that, there'll be refugees in Egypt while they wait out a mad king ruler's attempt to kill me. You want music? There will be music. I know I won't be able to hold back the angel choir. They're so excited and what this could mean for the people of earth. And the knowledgeable men of the agency said, why? Why would you choose to come that way? What good would that do? There'd be no witnesses to speak of, no message because a baby can't give a manifesto, no important people at the birth. It would be 30 years before anyone knew what was going on. Although, in 30 years, I grant you, that baby would have experienced human life. He would understand the human condition. Okay, you do it your way. Well, time to leave the advertising men. The message of the angels that first Christmas was, "I bring you good news, great joy, which will be for all the people." And 30 years later, Jesus emerged into public view. He told his hearers, "He who has seen me has seen the Father." And we'll never get a clearer picture of God than we get by looking at Jesus. What before God could not convey about himself, he could in Jesus. And what new thing did Jesus convey about God? Well, looking on, people saw how Jesus dealt with need. His disciples saw Jesus talking with a woman at a well in Samaria. "But Jews don't talk to Samaritans," they said. But Jesus did, and the woman's life was changed. So that was what God was like. All people were important to him, whatever their race or gender. And at another time, "This woman committed adultery," the crowd said. "She should be stoned to death." But Jesus said, "Let the sinless one among you cast the first stone." And that stopped the stoning and let the woman go on to a changed life. So that was what God was like, a God of second chances. Sir John Betjeman wrote, "And is it true, this most tremendous tale of all, seen in a stained glass window's hue, a baby in an ox's stall, the maker of the stars and sea become a child on earth for me?" We thank God for his gift beyond measure, for Jesus who made God plain for us. Don't you like the words of the first chapter of St. John? His gospel says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning." And then it goes on in verse 14, and we read, "The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth." It was good news indeed, bringing great joy to all the people.
Sounds of carols singing for all to hear. The joy
Auntie Liz, I thought we could have a quick convo about my visit to help with the baby. Is this a bad time?
Oh, Mary, it's so good to see you. No, this is a great time. Oh.
Auntie Liz, before we talk, I've got to tell you something.
No, you don't. You don't have to say anything. My little Johnny jumped when you said hello. He's leaping for joy, my darling. He's leaping because he knows who you're carrying. We both do.
How can you?
I know the same way I know why a 60-year-old woman is having a baby. Your Uncle Zek's not that good.
Auntie Liz!
Oh, it's God, darling one. It's all God.
So you know?
I know. I've been waiting for your call. I'm pleased as punch to see you, my darling. How often does a woman get to meet the mother of her Lord? So proud of you, darling. You're trusting God's promises and you're pushing on.
Oh, I'm so happy you said that. I felt like I've been on my own. Well, not on my own because I know God's with me. That's what it's like, really. Every time I look at the problem, it seems super large and unbeatable. But every time I look at him, I know he's going to save me because he's the one who takes care of people like you and me.
Well, you're not alone, my darling. Your aunt has been getting quite a few stares over the last few months. But keep going the way you're going, darling. Keep trusting him. Keep trusting him. And people will be talking about you for years to come. They'll even name their bubs after you.
Thanks, Auntie Liz. Really. But it's not me. It's God. He's done an incredible thing, including me in his plan. I can't help but feeling this is the start of him putting everything right. Of putting down all the people who think they're so good and lifting up the ones who don't think much of themselves. I've been hungry to see his will be done. And looking around, seeing everything that's going wrong with the Romans and the Zealots and everyone else who's in it for themselves, I've just been waiting for the day when he kicks them out. And I think this baby of his, my Jesus, is part of that.
More than that, darling. Much, much more. This son is going to fulfill all of the promises we've ever been given since Abraham was a boy. He's going to lift up those who trust in him. And he's going to give us not what we deserve, but the mercy we need. And honestly, I can't wait.
Me too. Oh, me too. Oh, I'm so glad you said that. I was wondering how I was going to explain it all. Things have been really difficult over here. Mum and Dad are so embarrassed. And Joey, he's good. And I know he loves me, but he doesn't know what to do. And he's finding it hard to talk to me. Maybe when I visit, I could stay a while longer than we talked.
You could stay for 3 months, darling. Oh, the longer you're under my roof, the better. The happier I'll be. And my baby. You could play some charades with Uncle Zek. He's been a bit quiet lately. I think our babies are going to be very good friends.
I love you, Auntie Liz.
I love you too, darling one. I'll see you when you get here.
See you.
Bye.